Sandy from Carol Ellis Wreath Studio. We are a bit jerry-rigged here this morning to do our video. A screw fell out somewhere of my my light ring, and so when I would put my phone up in it, came down and hit me in the head. Screws fall out, that great line from The Breakfast Club. If you're a mature person over the age of 55, you know what I'm talking about. John Bender. So we're going to try this way, and I need to be like up here. My table's like 6 inches too low for you to see. So I'm going to explain and then hold it up for you so you can see what it is I'm doing and what I'm talking about. If you've been here before, we're going to make another pancake wreath, and let's see if we can find us on the computer. Nope, I can't find us on the computer. Well, all right. So we're going to make a farm-themed wreath this morning. As I was sorting through my signs, my farm-themed signs, I found I didn't have any pigs, so we're not doing pigs. But I'll show you when we get to that point. I'm hoping that my mounting squares that I use to attach the sign to the wreath, that the Gorilla Glue has dried on that. But so let's look at the hardware and software we're going to use. So farmhouse black and white check, and over black and white check for right now. So I like to use this natural and red color for farmhouse, depending on the sign I'm using or other things. But this is a 10-inch roll of fabric mesh. So this it's a little thicker, not uber thick, but it kind of foofs up what we're doing. Now, you know the big foofy mesh wreaths, I tend to do those at fall, mostly Christmas. So this is another pancake wreath, so it can fit in between your exterior door and your storm door, depending on where you live. Birds would pick at this stuff because birds like to find things. And depending on where you live, birds are still starting to nest and start their little families. So if you don't have a storm door and you would plan to hang something like this outside, you would definitely need a covered porch, because wind, rain, ice, snow, sun, it will do a number on it. So, you know, I like to keep these in the house, in fun places. Like, hey, a guest bath with a farm theme, this could be a nice wreath. So we're going to use this, and again, 10-inch fabric mesh. We're going to stick that over there. And I have cut it into 21-ish inch strips, and I just cut it on my mat with a quilting cutter, Fiskars. If you don't have a mat and you don't have anything to cut on, you can certainly just kind of measure this out. It comes in that big roll you saw. So just kind of measure it out, put something heavy on the one end. Connection problems again. I need to switch to Metronet. But so put something heavy on that the end that's free, and then just measure it out 21 inches. You can do that with a yardstick. You can cut it with your scissors. It doesn't matter how really straight your ends are. Try and keep them as straight as you can, but you know, there's no mesh police if you're going to be making this for yourself. No big deal. So cut 8 strips of this, and I've got those set aside here, and I've already started laying in some of the mesh. So this is my favorite wreath form. It's very, very sturdy. It's made of MDF. It's not going anywhere. What else? So we've got these little stands for the ring. So that's what we use to attach. I get these from Hot Mesh Mom. Hot Mesh, M-E-S-H, Mom. And I think this is a 15-inch ring, and I think they're $5. Don't quote me, but I think they might be. I need to order some more for fall wreath classes. Anyway, so I've got 4 of them already down. 4 of them already down. It's my frustration face. Yeah. And I did every other one. So we've got the pipe cleaners or chenille stems, depending on how bougie you are. What you do is fold those in half, the chenille stems, and then just feed them up through there, give it a twist, and it's good to go. So we do every other one, and then we're going to do the next 4 that will lay on top of these and give it some height and a nice cushion for our sign and our ribbon. So let's get cracking. Put that there. Did you watch Bridgerton? Spoilers. The carriage scene went farther than I thought they would with that story. Emmett, sit down, please. Emmett is our lab puppy who is 5 months oldish. He gets into everything, of course. It's like I have to baby-proof the house. I thought my granddaughter was a trip getting into everything. My kids really didn't. But man, this dog, he's found stuff I didn't even know we had. But back to Bridgerton. So yes, that was an eye-opener. Thought it was really pretty good. I've seen some comments that people didn't care for it, that it was kind of slow, and you know, I think people are upset because the story arc didn't hit the next Bridgerton brother, Benjamin, or what is it? Not Benjamin. What is his name? It starts with a B because they're alphabetical. But anyway, he wasn't the main focus of this story. But I did like seeing the Penelope character come a bit out of her shell. I like that green dress she had on. It's like, you rock that thing, girl. Alright, so there's that. So earlier this week, Sunday night, I'll tell you in a minute. So we've got this mesh. What I'm going to do is fold it over in half, and then at that halfway point, I'm just putting my finger down, and I'm sorry that you can't see this. So I'm putting my finger down, and then I'm bringing the left side over to overlap where my finger was by about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch. And then the right side, and I'm folding that over by about a ½ inch. And so we've got a square like this. And then I'm just flipping that over and laying those cut sides down. And then I'm starting in the middle and I'm just scrunching it up. Just like a scrunchy scrunch. And when we scrunch it up, it ends up looking a little bit like a butterfly. See? But we'll put that on there. But so the dogs were coming in from their evening constitutional, and Elmer, our newfie, was the last one to come in. And I was buttoning things up. I didn't have my glasses on, and I saw something on the floor that I didn't notice before. From where I was standing, I thought, oh, it's a bunch of Elmer hair. He's blowing his coat right now. As I got closer, I thought, oh, that's not his coat. That looks like a baby bird. And I thought, well, maybe our little coonhound beagle mix got a baby bird that fell out of a nest in one of the trees. But on closer inspection, it was a baby possum. We have possums that I think are living under our garage. Not our garage, our shed. I've seen a possum out before, but I haven't seen any babies. But so there was a baby possum lying there on my floor. I didn't know whether it was alive or dead because it was a possum. And I don't know if that whole playing possum thing is an innate thing. I would imagine it probably is. But it wasn't any bigger than my hand. So I grabbed a piece of paper towel and I just picked it up and went toward the front door. I should have went toward the back door because that's where it came in from. And I put him down in the flower bed, but all the time while I'm going through to the front door, I'm, please don't bite me, please don't bite me, please don't bite me. So that was exciting that night. Then the next day, they had all gone out for their morning constitutionals, and what were the odds? Come out from the bathroom and getting myself ready for work, and I see another something on the floor in between the kitchen and the living room. And lo and behold, 'twas another baby possum. So I picked him up and I put him out back. I put him where I thought they might be living. So I'm not sure. I haven't seen any more offerings from any backyard kills. And I'm surprised if it is Elmer that he's doing this, because it's not a newfie trait to be, into getting prey. Last year we had woodchucks under the shed, and But he brought me on 2 different occasions a woodchuck that he or somebody decided they needed to take out. Okay, so we've got this is all set. And I also like to use this color for Christmas, like a farmhouse Christmas, or you know, kind of a vintage Christmas. Again, depending on the sign, but this just speaks to me. You know what I mean? All right, so what we're going to do now is cut our ribbon, and let me show you what we've got. So I've got some of my favorite farm ribbon, wired ribbon. We use wired ribbon when we're doing wreath projects. You know it's wired because it will hold a loop. Now there's French wired, which is much thinner wire, and it doesn't hold the loop as well. It's very delicate. Michael sells French ribbon, so you need to make sure you look on it. If it says French ribbon, you don't want it for wreath making. But we've got this, and we've got this with the gingham. So we're gonna do a little bit of this. So let's cut some ribbon up. So we need 8 pieces of ribbon. I'm going to put that part in the reach. So this is a ribbon tail board. You can see it's got a 10-inch mark and a 12-inch mark. And it's got a nice handy-dandy handle. It's got a handy-dandy handle, which is great. And I also got these. Here's their label. Hot Mesh Mom. Okay. So we're going to cut 8 pieces of this and 8 pieces of the chicken wire ribbon. So I need to really up my game with my farm ribbon and some farm signs. So this is 2-inch. What is this? 2.5 inch. I am like so lost. 1, 2. Oh, it was a rough night, kids. 2.5 inch, and this is 1.5 inch. So I'm going to cut these at 12 inches. If you don't have one of these, you can simply just measure it out with a yardstick and cut it with your scissors. Every 12 inches. If you've got a cutting mat, you can measure it out on your cutting mat. If you've got an easy bow maker or one of the other bow maker things, then there may be a ruler on that you can measure it out. But you don't have to have one of these. You can really just get by with a ruler and a yardstick. I tend to use 12-inch on these. Sometimes I do use 13 or 14, and I have another one of these. But I'm not sure where it went at this point. So all I'm going to do is lay my ribbon here at the edge, and I just hold it down, and then you just wrap it around. And I do like 4 at a time, so I'm wrapping this 4 times, and then I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to pop this off, and then I'm just going to go into the loop and cut that, and then go into this loop and cut that, and now we've got 4 pieces. That was pretty easy, and we're going to do that again. So my week excitement has been 2 dead baby possums and Bridgerton. I'll take Bridgerton over the dead baby possums any day. Any day. Let's see. So if you're on here, let me know. So Mrs. Crafty may be working today. Right, just did the same thing again. So pulled it off. We got the loop. So I'm going to come through there and snip this, and then snip this, and we've got our next 4 pieces. So we can set that aside. I need to see if they have this in a light blue. That would be really nice on some floral designs. So now we're going to do this ribbon. When you open up a roll of ribbon, the end typically is bent in, and the wire might be poking through. I just snip it off just beyond where that fold is. Emmett, sit down. Going to do the same thing with this. This is more of a satiny, silky. Yeah, it just says polyester. But I got both of these at the 5th Street.com website. So it's shop5thstreet.com. I buy most of my ribbon from her. She's got fabulous choices and very quick shipping. So we're still going to use the 12-inch. So we're making 4 of these. I mean, you could do all 8 of them, but then it gets chunky, and you can end up cutting things a bit off. And some ribbon is so expensive that sometimes I become paralyzed over whether to use it or not. Like, I don't want to screw that up and waste that, you know, $30 a roll of ribbon. Okay, so now we've got 4 of those. Let's do 4 more. And if you're saying to yourself, $30 roll of ribbon, yeah, some ribbon is very expensive depending on what it's made out of and where it's made. But I wait until somebody's having a de-stash sale. de-stash sales can be very rewarding. You can sometimes get a really nice spool of ribbon that hasn't been used, or maybe only 10 yards, or if it's a bigger roll. This comes in a 10-yard roll, but I've gotten like 4-inch ribbons. 4-inch ribbon, 6-inch ribbon is expensive. And I tend to use those on what we refer to as the showstoppers and at Christmas and fall. Okay, so we've got all of those cut up. So when I do a farmhouse wreath, really, probably 90% of the time, I make dovetails on the bottoms of my ribbons. So I'm going to take 2 of them at a time. And to make a dovetail, so you just hold your ribbon, and I've got 2 in here because it's thin. Fold it in. So just fold it over so the edge is on top, and just determine where you want it and just cut on a diagonal. And there's a dovetail. Let's do the same thing to the other end. Fold it over. Tammy Hodges from Polka Dot Wreath Studio says, fold it like a taco. So yeah, if you're a taco eater, I can't do spicy food regardless of nationality. I just don't have a stomach that can deal with it. So when people tell me, oh, it's not that spicy, I don't believe them. And especially at work when we have a potluck and people, let's have a taco. So I bring a sandwich or something. But somebody one time brought in some really good salsa. I don't remember the name of it, and it wasn't spicy at all. It was really very nice tasting on chips. Almost done with dovetailing these, and then we'll dovetail the other ones, and then we'll pop those puppies on the wreath. So I'm thinking about offering a private wreath making class in later June. And go step by step over a 2.5 hour, trying to figure that out. But to make a floral grapevine wreath. You see me make these a lot, the pancake wreaths. But you haven't seen me really make any of the floral grapevines. Did that tobacco basket, which I think is really pretty. So this ribbon is a little bit thicker. It's linen and gingham. I like this fabric of ribbon. Not a big fan of the larger. I'm not a fan of the larger size satiny ribbons. I just, you know, they kind of fall in on themselves from off the wire. They don't fall off the wire, but they just kind of flatten out. And it reminds me of an unmade bed, and that just doesn't sit well with my my compulsive self when it comes to made beds. I like a made bed in the morning when we get up. My husband could really care less. Oh dear. Mr. Wreath Studio is wasn't a let's make our beds in the morning when he was a kid person. We made our beds. So the last two, so again, we're going to fold that over on itself like we're making a taco. Okay. And we're just going to cut on the diagonal, just like that. And there we go. Got all of our dovetails. Oh, Emmett. So take notice if you can see this. See, oh, there we go. See the wire that's sticking out? Sometimes that happens for no reason. So just snip that, because we don't want that poking out to poke on the door, scratch the door if you're hanging it on the door or even wall. Just snip those little things right on out of there. All right, so let's get the wreath back. So what I'm going to do is do the bottoms first and then do the top. And as you can see, they're all open. And we're just going to put two of the ribbons together. And it's going to be as easy as pie. And I have the end of a ribbon that did not get cut, which means I have the end of another ribbon that did not get cut. There it is. But yeah, easy as pie. Pie I don't think is easy. Math or pastries. All right, so I'm just going to lay these two together. And then we're going to fold them in half. Okay, and then just lie this down on the table or whatever you're working on. Go to that halfway point, and you're going to scrunch again, just like we scrunched with the mesh. So we've got two pieces of ribbon that are scrunched together. Okay, like another little butterfly. I'm going to take this and go down to that first layer. I'm going to lay that in to the chenille stem like we did with the mesh, and then just give it a twist or two, whichever you want. I think I tend to do two. Okay, and then just put your thumbs under the and pop it so it kind of poofs up. Okay, so there we go. We're going to do that all the way around. We're going to do the bottom row first, and then we'll do the top row. Then, if my mounting squares are have dried on the sign, we'll be putting the sign on. Okay. Where'd my scissors go? Where'd my scissors go? Okay, so fold that in half. Grab one of the red ones, fold that in half. Put them together. So we've got thumbs work. So we've got them folded together. So just lay that down on the table and just scrunch it from the middle. Just like that. Got a little bow tie going. And then just cup them out like that. And then we're going to find our next one that's on the bottom. Lay that down into the chenille stem and give it a couple of twists. Twist and rotate. Yes. My puppy has no manners at all, so if you hear that growling noise in the background, it's not that we have a wild animal. We just have a 5-month-old puppy who loves to play. As he should. Puppies should play. He loves to play. Sometimes a little too rough. He's gone backwards with his potty training, which is a bit of a pain. So if you play the stock market, you might want to consider investing in whomever it is that makes paper towels. Okay, so here is our last one for the bottom row. I will tell you, sometimes I do mix up ribbons, so I will use different ribbon on the bottom as I do on the top. Just depends on what it is I'm making and whether it's for somebody special or it's going to go in my shop on Etsy. I like to mix it up a little bit. When they get to going like that, or they go over to the fence and they bark at the neighbor's dogs. Got some little yappy dogs next door. They'll call my dogs hooligans. So sometimes they act like that. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. Leave it. Use the leave it command for them all. They need to drop whatever it is they've got, or stay away from somebody else's food bowl. A leave it works really well. To go do some labs and x-rays this morning for my rheumatologist. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That might be dry. We'll see. Just a minute. Right. Last two. Down to our last pairs. Oh, if you have Netflix and you like Irish humor, because this is an Irish film, Bodkin That was funny. I like Irish humor. Waking Ned Divine was one of my favorites. But Bodkin was funny. What did I do with that? I am missing a ribbon. Oh, there it is. Just have to do Elmer. Elmer is our newfie. Elmer is 3. Today, a memory came up on my Facebook. It's the day that our St. Bernard Lily went to heaven. She was a very, very sweet girl. We rescued her from down by Detroit. She'd never been able to play. She was spent most of her time in the house. She never ran around. So when she got here, we did the requisite dog introductions. She just ran around like a deer, hopping in the yard. I'm not sure. So, yeah, Lily was 5 when we rescued her. We had her for like almost 5 years. They were giving her away. Post on Christmas Eve night on Facebook. Because grandmother had bought her as a puppy for her granddaughter. The household had just gotten too chaotic. All right. I got to finish my wreath. Yes, I am. Nobody can see you, though. Right, let's see. Everybody's got a bow. Everybody's got some ribbon. All right. Let's see if my sign is ready. No. All right. My mounting squares are not completely dry, which means the glue isn't completely dry. So I am not going to attach it. What I'm going to show you is that's a mounting square. They have a little adhesive back, but I don't ever trust it, so I put Gorilla Glue on it. These are like 1/2-inch ones. I prefer the larger ones, so I need to get some of those at, I don't know, Harbor Freight or Walmart, something like that. So these have little holes. Can you see that? It's got a little slot in it. So that's what you use to put your chenille stems again. And so you just thread that through the hole. And there's hole, it's easier to see with the stem in it. Just thread that through there. And I thread it in to like the halfway point, and then I tie it with a twist toward the outer edge, like that. And I do one at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 if you were going around on a clock face. So put the last one on. Sometimes I use a different colored stem, chenille stem, than what it is that I'm making. Once you put the sign on, nobody can see it. But sometimes I use like a neon colored one, or something that's bright and going to stand out so I can find it when I'm fishing around in the wreath to put the sign on. So I haven't showed you the sign yet. I don't think you caught a flash of it. But so today's farm theme is buck, 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 farm fresh eggs. I made one of these for my niece for her birthday last year because she is a crazy chicken woman. I was a crazy chicken woman. I want to get chickens again. I was going to do it this spring, but we still have storm debris in the backyard from when we had bad storms here in Michigan last August. We had huge 60-foot limb part of the crotch of a tree in the neighbor's yard. It's on the lot line, fall down into our yard, and our son cut a big chunk of it up, but there's just still so much. And then fall came and winter came, and we'll see. I put in for, because FEMA is supposed to be in our area. So, yeah, I was encouraged to go to the FEMA website and put in for storm damage like that. So I did. I haven't heard anything yet. I'm sure they're inundated with all kinds of requests. I thought maybe the neighbor would want the wood because he heats with wood in his house, but he never asked. I never offered, so it's shame on both of us with that. So when the mounting squares dry, then we're going to put the sign on, and then we'll have our nice farm fresh eggs. What has occurred to me is, since this is chicken themed, I have some raffia somewhere in my vicinity here that I think I'm going to pull some raffia out, and where each of these are, toss a little raffia in there and twist tie that down and see what that looks like before I put the sign on. So when you're done putting whatever you're doing with this, you can do two things. You can curl these down and kind of tuck them in, or you can snip them with some just small wire cutters. They'll cut easily, and then just bend that little bit down. I wouldn't cut them all the way down, just for safe keeping purposes, to make sure your wreath stays together in case you ever have to repair anything. So maybe cut them down to about a 1/2 inch point and then just tuck those in. If I'm making a bug themed wreath, then I'll kind of use these like antenna, depending on the bug. But yeah, so this is going to be our chicken wreath. And this is probably going to go in the shop. I'm not sure how much it will be. I'll get the wreath put on. So I will get the sign put on the wreath later today. I'm going to head over to the hospital to do my labs and my x-rays, and maybe go get groceries. My phone did not charge last night, so I can't use my Scan and Shop app that I like to do to get in and out of there. We'll see. I see it is 7:56, so thank you for watching, popping in. If you come in and watch the replay, just put the word replay in the comments and let me know you were here, because I appreciate it. And this will go up as a video here on my Facebook, and I'm also going to put it up on my new YouTube page, which is Carol Alice Wreaths, and Carol is C-A-R-O-L. So if you just put that in on YouTube, then you can see the one video I have up there. But yeah, thank you for popping in to Carol Alice Wreath Studio, and the roll out of bed, come as you are, craft hour-ish. So, I think we're going to make that big butterfly. We got to get him in the shop and find him a new home. So next week we'll make the big butterfly. And maybe I'll have more news then about the private wreath class that I